Live from $1 Million Studios, Speez.
The man who flies through life, guided only by his complexion.
And the benchmark of professional wrestling, Mr. Silky Baines.
How's it going, Chris?
Shenanigans on full point early on in the program.
You gotta prep me before you do that. Nope, wrong one.
No. Silky's still trying to figure out.
Still trying to figure it out.
Shenanigans? Use the sounder. Oh, Speez and the Benchmark Show here on a Wednesday night, July the 17th, 2019. We thank you so much for being with us. Free Birds for Life, Jody Mania, Babaruski. Everybody joining us here on Twitch. If you're new to the program, make sure to go ahead and hit that follow button. We'd appreciate that. And if you want to support the show, and we're always very grateful when you do because we just got a check from Twitch. Thank you very much.
Boom.
Where's my applause, Silky? Where is it? There it is. Yes, thank you very much for all your kindness. It's helping us keep this show going, and we are so very grateful. So you can support the show by becoming a subscriber. It's free if you happen to have Amazon Prime. So that's super sweet right there. And if not, you can do it for as little as $4.99 a month. You can also drop those bits here on the program, or you can leave us a tip at the tip jar, tinyurl.com/SB tip jar. Tell them why, Silky.
These bills need to get paid.
Indeed, they do. And if you want to get in on the conversation tonight, you can do so on the phone lines. 832-937-4559 is the phone number to get in.
That's 832-93-SILKY.
832-93-SILKY. We're going to talk some Bray Wyatt here tonight because, man, does he have everybody talking, which is excellent. Thank you very much, Bill. Thank you very much, sir.
Hi, Speez and the Benchmark. Still laughing from the smart tears.
Thank you very much, Bill. I didn't feel like this was as good a Smart Tears as we've had in the past, and people still love it.
Oh, yeah, because it's Smart Tears, and we get weird shit. So
That's how good that segment is.
Yeah.
It's excellent. So we'll talk a little Bray Wyatt here tonight. We're going to talk about how on earth you get rid of Shane McMahon, because holy shit, I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired of seeing that guy on the program. We're going to talk about the complete insanity that is Shane McMahon completely taking over SmackDown Live last night.
You do know there's rumors that he's going to win the WWE Championship.
Yeah, well, let's put those to bed right now because that would be atrocious. And of course, it's a Wednesday night, so you know what that means. Another of our regular segments here on the program. Silky Baines will reveal his top 5 wrestlers of the week in this week's Benchmark Power Rankings.
And I think you're going to like them.
I know Silky's going to like them.
Of course I like them because they're great. And they're my fucking rankings.
That's right. So, of course, you like them. Welcome to all of you guys filing in here on the chat. And it's good to see everybody here. So, we talked a little bit about Bray Wyatt on Monday. We'll get to him here shortly. But hello to Mr. AEW. Good to see you, sir. And if you guys, by the way, could help by spreading the word out there on Twitter, letting everybody know that we're here, we're always appreciative of that as well. So let's talk about a little SmackDown Live, Silky. Okay. Last night, we had 4 different Shane McMahon bits to open up the show. 4. All right, well, I'm just going to run through it real quickly. We had a video package showing Shane intercepting Kevin Owens earlier in the afternoon and telling him that he was banned from the show tonight. Then we had a review of a video package, I should say, of what happened to Shane via Kevin Owens last week on SmackDown. Then we had Shane coming out to the ring to highlights of what happened to Shane at Extreme Rules. And then we had this bullshit town hall meeting, which of course completely revolved around Shane. What is going on? When did Shane McMahon all of a sudden become the centerpiece of all things SmackDown Live? It's completely insane. Was somebody asking for this? It seemed like people were pretty happy.
Apparently were clamoring for it.
They were not.
They were clamoring.
They could not have been clamoring for Shane. Anybody in the chat, are you clamoring for Shane McMahon? Because I would like to know so that we can permanently ban you from the fucking chat and you can never come back again. Because if you're even remotely responsible for this horse shit, and I've said before that Silky Baines is at least partially responsible because you know WWE goes through and watches all these shows like ours. Mm-hmm. Some intern is watching all the shows, trying to figure out what everybody's talking about. And Super Guy over here puts him in the fucking Benchmark Power Rankings several months back. You know, it was right around that time, Silky, that this Shane McMahon push started.
I mean, hey, WWE needs to cut me a check then.
Is it any surprise that Shane, and I told you
They're
before,
like,
and you
wow.
got all offended by it, but, here's some little runt Northeastern white boy intern that sees Silky Baines putting Shane McMahon in the top 5 wrestlers of the week, and he's going to the higher ups of WWE, he's going to that WWE brass and going, hey, Shane's over with the black guys, we need to give him a push big time. And here we are.
Thank you for saying black guys and not just the blacks.
Well,
like
is that what offended you last time?
That's
Because
what
I
you said last time.
The
The blacks.
blacks.
Like,
What's up,
racist
Foz?
Fuck.
Good to see you. No ban. Don't worry about that. As long as we don't have any mark-on-mark violence in the chat, because the chats have been completely out of control the last couple weeks. So we got to reel that in.
Moderators, what are you doing?
Exactly.
Isn't that what you're supposed to be doing? Babaruski?
Yeah, Bobaruski's just going to type happy faces the whole time.
Yeah. He's going to egg it on.
Shane is the best heel of the... See, then here comes Kyle King with his horse shit. Mad Dog Drake. Thank you so much for the bits, good sir. We appreciate that. Good to have you here at the program. I would say good to have Kyle King, but of course he's coming with his Shane McMahon shit right off the bat.
I mean, Shane's entertaining. I keep telling you, he's entertaining. He's not the best wrestler.
No.
But guess what? Neither was The Rock.
Okay. We're not going to put
Or Hulk Hogan.
Shane McMahon in the same sentence as The Rock
I
or
just
Hulk
fucking
Hogan
did.
on this program.
I just fucking did.
What the fuck?
What are you doing?
I'm just saying, what got The
Little
Rock
white
in-
guy intern watching the program. Do not take this.
How do you know it's not a black intern?
Okay, little black guy intern watching the program.
Now that sounds very racist.
It does not.
It does.
Don't take this to heart, all right? He's just doing this to troll me and the rest of the people in the chat.
I mean, but I have a valid point. I mean, Rock was not known for his catch-can wrestling skills. Now, was he?
No, he was not.
But he was very entertaining.
Okay. That doesn't mean that okay, just because The Rock was not a great wrestler necessarily, and Shane is not a great wrestler necessarily, actually, literally, does not mean that you can compare the two of them and say, well, they're both entertaining.
Well, they are both entertaining.
What is entertaining about Shane McMahon? Tell me what's entertaining about Shane McMahon. And don't tell me his backyard bullshit jumping
The
off
risk
the
he
shit.
takes in his matches. You just praised fucking Jeff. You would praise Jeff Hardy for all the backyard bullshit he does.
That's because Jeff Hardy brings more to the table.
No, he doesn't.
Than backyard
He absolutely
bullshit.
does not.
I know you don't like Jeff Hardy. And
What does he
you
bring to the
always go to
table?
Jeff Hardy.
What does he bring to the table?
Jeff Hardy
What?
might as well be fucking. I always think of Simon Gotch, but the older Gotch who was the fucking
Carl
catch wrestler.
Gotch?
Carl Gotch, thank you. He might as well be Carl Gotch compared to Shane McMahon.
Do you still have not said what he has, what he's bringing to the table?
Athleticism, charisma, connection with the
debatable.
crowd. What's
Debatable.
debatable? What's debatable?
The charisma?
You don't think Jeff Hardy has any charisma?
He doesn't connect with me. I mean, if you're that subsect of people that like,
What subsect would that be, Silky?
White emo people. So if you're there,
I love it how you can play the white emo card and it's fine.
doesn't have good promos.
I say Shane's over with the blacks, and all of a sudden, I'm Captain Racist here.
Yeah, because everything sounds more racist when a white person says it. It's facts.
Jeff Hardy. Okay, see, Kyle's trolling again. Jeff Hardy does not give good promos.
He does not.
Nor is he a great in-ring guy.
He is
jumps
not.
off shit. Come on.
That's what he does.
What the fuck
And
are
wait,
you
wait.
guys talking about?
What the fuck are you talking
Shane
about?
McMahon has better promos. You got to give him that. He's better than Jeff Hardy. He is not a great in-ring guy either, and he jumps off shit. But you praise Jeff fucking Hardy, but you shit on Shane McMahon. You, my friend, are a fucking hypocrite.
That we're actually having this conversation.
You are what's wrong with
I'm surprised
wrestling
we
right
have
now.
any viewers in the chat right now at all, that they haven't all gone away and said, I can't believe that I watched these clowns to begin with, because you're trying to compare Shane McMahon and Jeff Hardy and say that there's virtually no difference between the two.
I mean, if you really boil it down, what is the difference? You have not said one quantifiable difference
I
between
gave
them.
you three.
No, you didn't.
Athleticism.
Shane's athletic.
Okay, well, we can just stop right there because this conversation is
Oh,
gonna go
so-
nowhere. Stop it.
Okay, so what does he does? That's the swanton. It's just a front flip off the top rope. That's literally all he does.
You're
If you boil it down,
seriously,
what does Jeff Hardy do? He does a
comparing
swan
the
time.
athleticism of Jeff Hardy to the athleticism of Shane McMahon.
Tell me, what has he? Name a spot that's not him doing the swanton off of something.
Buckeye Eagle says Jeff Hardy's a lot hotter than Shane. So there you go.
I mean, that's fine, but what's that got to do with the price of tea in China?
Thank you, Jody, for providing some kind of sanity in the chat, saying that Shane isn't athletic. Him hopping around doing his douchey shit and his
That's not
fucking drunk girl punches, as Jody likes to say. It's absurd.
But, you know, a fucking 50-year-old man who can do a shooting star press, that's athleticism, right? What does Jeff Hardy do? He's fucking 40-something. What does he do? Name one thing that's not Swanton related that he does. Swanton and Whisper in the Wind. That's all the fuck he's got. Back in the day when he was, you know, basically a glorified jobber, you know, I saw him doing springboards in like 450s. But now all he does, he climbs up to something really fucking high, Swanton's off.
I'm gonna let you read that bottom comment because again, it's just typical of the insanity that's going on in the chat right here.
Shane ain't never fucked up a match with Sting. That is true. Poetry in motion. That's 2.
Shooting star press, you fucking Mark. Get out of here, Kyle King. Jesus Christ. Anyway,
So
how do we get this motherfucker off SmackDown Live? That was the question. How do we get him out of here so that we don't have to watch half an hour of a 2-hour show revolving around a 50-year-old fucking turd who's only there because his daddy owns the company Silky Bands?
You don't. I mean, you.
So this is going to continue to be problematic for me going forward.
It might be. It might be a little bit most problematic for you.
The rumor was that this. I know, and Alice is a Shane McMahon fan too. It's. We all have our flaws, Alice. It's okay.
Yeah, you like the revival.
Exactly.
Big flaw.
That's not a big flaw. They're awesome. So, the rumor was. No.
Okay.
The rumor was that this feud with Kevin Owens is supposedly going to usher Shane off of TV. We're eventually going to get him out of there via this Kevin Owens feud. But my question is, what? First of all, I said this before. We've seen Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon before. We've seen that. Roles are somewhat reversed now. You've got KO as the face, and you got Shane as the heel.
That's completely reversed. How's it somewhat?
Okay, the roles are reversed. I never think of Shane as a baby face because he's a fucking turd, and I don't like him. Do we really want to see that again? And do we really want to see Shane occupying another wrestler's spot on the card?
Well, let me ask you this.
When we could be, KO could be somewhere else.
I'll answer your question with a question.
I always enjoy that.
What the fuck would KO be doing if not this right now? Not a motherfucking thing.
Anything. Put him in the Intercontinental title chase. Get him in there after Nakamura. Yes. Beautiful. Thank you. Good.
Yeah. No.
You would want to see KO and Nakamura over KO and Shane.
I like the story behind it. I mean, the KO and Shane has better story. Why would he be fighting Nakamura outside of the Intercontinental title? You need this. Maybe afterwards, maybe after this, then yeah, going into something, because now Shane is basically making him a full-fledged face, and then he can go take on Nakamura. But I mean, really, they still at the time before all this started, they still fucking hated KO, and so I mean, it just you have nothing for him. So why not do something like this, which gets him some screen time, gets people wanting to see KO more? I see this is more of a thing to elevate KO than a thing to push Shane McMahon.
Yeah, and this is probably my own bias coming through because you know this.
Yeah, it's 100%.
I'm a huge KO guy. No,
it's 100% your own bias coming through.
Not with regard to Shane. I'm talking about with KO because I've always thought of KO as a top guy ever since he won the Universal title. I mean, to me, you have to build up KO.
You do. I mean, he's been gone for a while. And before that, he was basically relegated to comedy shit. I mean,
which was kind of ridiculous.
It's the same thing. It's no different than what they're doing right now with Bray Wyatt. I mean, Bray Wyatt was fucking huge. He had, at one point...
Trying to say he's fat?
No.
I got to get the fat sounder. I know Dr. Huge, does the fat sounder, but I got to find that one. Anyway, I interrupt. Go ahead.
Yeah, but at one point, Bray Wyatt was like a big deal. And then they push him. He'd get these high-profile matches, but he'd lose. And then he'd lose. And then he'd lose.
He's the old Samoa Joe is what you're talking about.
He's pretty much.
On it.
God damn it.
That fat bastard, you call him Sloppy Joe.
Now I'm hitting 2 buttons. You got me all thrown off now.
Yeah. But I think that this feud more helps KO than anything, because without this, there's really no room for KO. Let's just be real.
There's always room for KO.
There's always room for all the wrestlers, but are they going to use them? I mean, right now, they're not going to shoehorn him into anything. So give him something like this and use this as a bridge to transition him to do something else.
I just feel like
and why not do it with Shane? Because guess what?
Shane's fucking terrible, and nobody wants to see Shane wrestle.
They want to see him get his ass kicked, though. That's the thing, and he's very good at this. You've got to give him that.
I've seen enough of Shane getting
now,
his ass kicked for me.
As of right now, that's what made Shane pretty much the, I guess, wrestler he was that he could talk all this shit and get people behind him and stuff because he's the boss's son, and they love to watch him get his ass kicked. So this is all people are going to be waiting to see how this blows off and see how massively Kevin Owens whoops his ass. So I like the fact that they're doing this with Shane and reversing the roles, making KO the full-fledged babyface.
It'd be interesting to see how KO turns out as a face, because I've always loved heel Kevin Owens. I think he's fantastic. Get caught up on some of the comments here. And shout out to all you guys filing into the chat room here. Good to see all of you coming in. Alistair Fiend, Amber, all of you guys. Good to see you. Shane is cheap labor, says Mad Dog Drake. Bring back the other McMahon. I hope you're talking about Vince Bobruski, because don't even start talking that other shit. They could do a fake limo blowing up with Shane in it. I'd be okay with that build. Shane failed his Taiwanese business. Now he is ruining WWE. Which business did he screw up?
The fuck is Taiwanese?
I'm sure it's a mix between Chinese and Taiwanese. I'm not sure if that would be qualify
racist.
as racist.
I think that's racist.
You would be the authority on this, not me.
Oh, we need a sounder that says that was racist.
Stone Cold Steve Austin needs to be there to school KO, says Amber. All right, to help develop him as the anti-hero. Yeah. Why did KO steal the Stone Cold move? Here's the thing. I'm not a fan of moves like that being taken over. Iconic moves. I get that certain people use moves nowadays.
Yeah, if there's nothing new in wrestling.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, somebody's done it before. The stunner is just... It's a Stone Cold thing. It's growing on me a little bit, but yeah. I'm with you, Jody. I love the new Bray Wyatt as well. He's currently a mid-card guy that needs to get back to main guy status, says Bob Ruski. I'm assuming talking about KO. I saw a gif of KO stunning Shane, and after he stunned him, KO ran like a girl. You never see Austin run away after he stunned someone. This is true. This is very true. You don't like KO using the stunner, but how much do you love the RKO / Diamond Cutter?
And the rhyme. I like that, though.
I don't think of the Diamond Cutter as being such an iconic move that you look at it and you go, oh, that's Diamond Dallas Page. There's no way anybody could take that. Like, to me, Stone Cold is on... Maybe he's on most everybody's Mount Rushmore. You go taking moves from a Rushmore guy, I think people would have more of a problem with it. His stunner has room for improvement. Most definitely. Bring back the Oriental Spike from Terry Bam Bam Gordy. See, I love that Brian is just here to throw in some old school references to the Von Erichs and the Freebirds and such, just for all the youngsters out there. All right, well, according to Silky, we're stuck with Shane for a while. So too bad for all of you guys who wanted to get rid of him. It doesn't look like that's going to happen, unfortunately. But, take what we can forget. Blame this guy. What's up, Noob and Co.? Glad to have you with us. Make sure to give the channel a follow if you're new to the program. And consider becoming a sub, all that good stuff. I'd like to see KO in a storyline with Shane McMahon and Stephanie McMahon, says Alice. We got to just let's stop this runaway freight train before it gets completely out of control. We do not need Stephanie McMahon coming. Doesn't she have another show coming out? She has another show where she's doing like Make-A-Wish stuff with kids or something, or
So she's being charitable, and yet you're over here just bashing her for no reason.
I didn't bash her. I haven't bashed her at all. I just said I didn't want to see her back. That's not bashing her.
That's bashing.
That is not
she
bashing.
Is a gorgeous person, inside and out.
Inside and out. All you guys who want to get rid of him, a.k.a. Just Speez. Don't start that, Kyle King, again with your trolling.
Yeah, kind of. He's kind of right, though. Because, I mean,
yeah,
everybody...
between you and Kyle and me, I'm the only one that wants to get rid of him.
I mean...
You talk about the overwhelming majority of the rest of the wrestling world, I think they're with me.
You would like to think, but I'm sure...
Oh, I know.
So
I actually get on Twitter, unlike you, Silky, because I have to run... My one job is to run the fucking Twitter account for this show. And so I see what's happening. I see how many people are unhappy with so much of SmackDown Live being taken up by Shane McMahon.
But they're also unhappy with Brock Lesnar, and yet the numbers clearly show whenever he's on TV, more people fucking watch.
Hey, you get no
so
argument
you
from
do
me
the
there.
fucking math.
Hey, I'm with you.
So people just like to get on Twitter and bitch is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter.
It's too hot to fight in the chat, says Jody Mania. Amber says Stephanie would not be my Make-A-Wish. What storyline, says Noob, do you want to see during the era of Heyman and Bischoff? All right, let's go with this, Silky, because it's a light night here on the program. Not a lot of crazy shit going on. We're in the doldrums between Extreme Rules and SummerSlam. Give me a dream storyline for Raw and SmackDown. And we won't say Raw and SmackDown Live because with the wild card rule, it doesn't matter. So what's a feud that you want to see now that Heyman and Bischoff are taking over?
That's a good question.
And you guys in the chat feel free to chime in as well because we want to hear yours. What is a feud that you would like to see coming up through the ranks now that Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff will be taking the reins?
Well, they seem like they're already throwing, but then again, we might be just overstepping because they may have just needed a face that's over to get the new Bray Wyatt character over and not necessarily have plans to do anything, but Demon versus Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt versus Demon Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Now, of course, the rumor is Finn Balor has asked some time. This is what sucks about being on Twitter sometimes is you hear this stuff and you go, oh, well, that's where that storyline's going. Apparently, Finn Balor has asked for some time off, a couple months off, and was granted that, assuming that he would stick around just long enough to put Bray Wyatt over at SummerSlam. Spoiler alert. Thank you, online wrestling Twitter, for ruining that one. But yes, that could be very interesting, especially if Finn Balor goes away, and then his return is to come back as the Demon and face Bray Wyatt. I could go with that one. SmackDown rating up. Bam. Shane equals ratings, says Bobarooski. Just
Shut up!
Knock it off. I would like to see, says Noob, the Kabuki Warriors become the women's version of the NWO.
Well, I mean, there's only one other Japanese, Chinese, one of them women left.
One of them is.
One of them. I mean,
what was the term that was used earlier that you said sounded racist, and you just dropped a one of them is?
One of them. I mean, I don't know which. I honestly don't know. I mean, Japanese? They're all Japanese?
Silky is trying very hard to get us kicked off of this forum where we actually get paid. They send us checks. They send us money for doing this show, thanks to all of you wonderful viewers out there. And Silky's doing his best to sabotage the shit by referring to them as one of them is.
Well, you keep saying, and like I say, everything sounds more racist with
When
the
I
white
say,
face.
I can't even repeat it, apparently.
Yeah. So, but point being, female version of NWO, there would only be 3 of them. And then
that was the original NWO. It worked beautifully.
Well, for what? A month? And then there was the Giant.
That was the best version of the NWO.
And then there was the Giant, and then Six, and then Virgil, and then DiBiase,
Virgil and
and
DiBiase.
then, fucking everybody. But point being is that I don't see the Kabuki Warriors as maybe like a new version of a female version of like the Freebirds in the sense of like the three man or 3-woman rule.
Yeah, I could see that. They got to have some more tag teams though. The tag titles are a joke. The Iconics made it a joke again the other night, getting counted out. It's just silly at this point. Kyle says, I hope they set up a Team Bischoff versus Team Heyman that actually means something come Survivor Series. That would be very cool.
Buckeye Eagle wants to see Lesnar versus McIntyre. I don't know if I want to see that.
Oh, I think that could be very good.
No, I think not that it would be bad, but right now, I mean, I'm just a fan of just the way you put Brock over as the champ. He's a heel. Drew McIntyre's a heel.
Yeah.
I don't really want to. I mean, there's only so much you can do with that.
Yeah. Now, Bob.
But I guess since we're in almost quasi fantasy booking territory, guess one of them can be face for it. So, I mean, it's still going to be good. I like that Bill's the club versus
That's what I was going to say.
Era.
Bill stole my idea because I don't know if you guys saw this earlier today. The Undisputed Era and the club got into a little Twitter beef earlier today. It was very minor. But one of the members of the club said something along the lines of the best faction in pro wrestling or the best faction in the WWE or the most, most impressive, most intimidating faction in the WWE. And I want to say it was Adam Cole that tweeted back and said, careful now. And then hashtagged Undisputed Era. And AJ responds with just the laughing emoji, like, fuck you, I'm not even worried about you guys. So it kind of went back and forth between these guys, which got a lot of people talking. That could be a lot of fun if the Undisputed Era were to come up to the main roster. And somebody else even commented on it, which I think would be even cooler. If Finn Balor were to join up with the club, and then you actually had a 4-on-4 faction feud between the club and the Undisputed Era, that could be. You could get so many matches out of it because it doesn't necessarily have to be an 8-man tag match, but you could do a War Games match if you wanted to bring that up to the main roster. Endless tag team matches, Adam Cole versus AJ Styles. I mean, or take any of those guys and put them in one-on-one matches with each other. It'd be fantastic.
With AJ Styles, you mean?
With AJ Styles.
Yeah.
AJ Styles and Finn Balor, put those guys in your solo matches. Adam Cole and Roddy, put those guys in the singles matches. It'd be great. Evil Laugh, Orton versus Cena for the title once he beats Kofi, says Mama Ruski. Should have left the women's tag team championships on Bayley and Sasha. I'm not sure they were going anywhere with Bayley and Sasha either.
Yeah, I just think that this was not a well fleshed out idea to have women's tag titles because they've done nothing to make any of the people that have held that title seem like they're important. I mean, once the Sasha and Bayley won, they were dropping matches left and right until they lost at WrestleMania. Then the Iconics, I don't think have they even won a match since they've been champs?
They won a pay-per-view match, did they not? I'm pretty sure they won a pay-per-view match.
I don't even know they were on the pay-per-view. I want to
say a couple pay-per-views ago they won a match, but I could be mistaken. If they've won one, it's probably just been one. Yeah. Stop it, Kyle. We're not going to even entertain that horse shit, so stop putting it in the damn chat.
You wouldn't want to see that?
Stop it.
Come on. Think about how bad he's going to get brutalized.
Stop it. No.
No, think about it.
No.
You hate Shane, right?
No.
Think about how bad Brock Lesnar would fuck Shane McMahon up, and then Drew McIntyre will come in with the clay.
Only if Brock goes full-on shoot UFC and kicks the ever-living shit out of him for real. Like goes Randy Orton elbowing his stupid fucking head open. Not that Randy Orton has a stupid fucking head. I'm talking about Shane's head. Brock Lesnar would hurt Shane McMahon, says Alex. Exactly. Exactly. Asuka as an anti-hero against Charlotte Flair as a sympathetic face this time. Make it serious. I don't care if Paige and Kairi Sane get involved. Let it happen. I just don't see Charlotte Flair being able to get over as a sympathetic babyface. It's just not going to happen. Get the tables, Bitmania. Thanks for the $500, man.
Have a great show, fellas.
We will. As soon as Kyle stops polluting the fucking chat with his Shane McMahon ridiculousness. So when is this horsewomen thing going to take place, or did I miss it?
Well, I mean, now that Ronda's gone, there's really no point in it.
Yeah. She'll be back.
But when?
I guess after they get done making babies and such, so
Yeah.
it's at some point. All right, we get to Bray Wyatt here shortly. We're going to update you on the standings in this year's G1 over in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But first, let's get to it. It is Wednesday night, and every Wednesday night here on the program, Silky Baines here reveals his top 5 wrestlers of the week in a segment we like to call the Benchmark Power Rankings. Let's go. The Benchmark Power Rankings for the week of July 17th, 2019. Top 5 wrestlers of the week, according to our very own Benchmark Silky Baines. Got a little New Japan mixed in there. Got results from Extreme Rules to consider. A lot of different title changes and such. So plenty of good stuff coming up on this week's Power Rankings. Let's kick it off with number 5.
Number 5, Kenta. I put him on the list. I mean, he's 2-0 right now in the G1. He beat Tanahashi and Ibushi. I mean, that 2 big names in New Japan. How can you? I mean, he had to make the list.
Who doesn't beat Tanahashi and Ibushi? Come on.
Oh, okay. You racist fuck.
I'm kidding. How is that
racist?
How could that
fuck.
possibly be racist?
Because when Zack Sabre Jr.'s lily white ass beat Tanahashi and Ibushi.
Oh, that was pretty good.
In the New Japan Cup, you raved about how big it was for him to beat those guys. And now that Kenta does it, oh, it's not a big deal. Everyone beats those guys. Racist. See, everything's more palatable to him with a white face.
Oh, my goodness. Revival better be on the list. Don't hold your breath, Brian. Wasn't he number 5 last week, too? Yeah, as a matter of fact, Buckeye Eagle, he was.
Hey.
Go figure. Silky's picked to win the G1 just happens to be in the power rankings 2 weeks in a row. Go
okay,
figure.
First of all,
should we move
it's
on
my
to
fucking
4?
power rankings.
You want to move on to number 4?
Yes, let's move on to number 4.
Number 4.
Cue yourself. Number 4, Randy Orton. I mean, I like what they did with him on SmackDown. I like him pinning the WWE champion. So you kind of have to go on the list by that. Had a good showing on Raw, being one of the last ones in the Battle Royal. I think he might actually take the title from Kofi. I mean,
Randy
but
Orton
if
is
even
a
if
pro, man.
it's going to be probably Kofi's defining moment as champ, win or lose.
Yeah, I don't get people hating on Randy Orton and talking about, I'm getting tired of Randy Orton. Randy Orton needs to retire. He's boring, blah, blah. Randy Orton is a fucking pro. Randy Orton can make anybody look good. He still looks great. He still gets huge reactions from the crowd. People still love him. And like you said, he's one of the few heels out there that can step in and just elevate guys. And yeah, I think a program with him and Kofi would be outstanding, especially if you want to keep the belt on Kofi.
Yeah.
Because to get a win like that over Randy Orton would be awesome. That would be awesome. Would have put the RKO at number 3. All right, then. Let's move on to this week's number 3.
Brock Lesnar, the Universal Champion. I mean, say what you will. I thought it was the way he cashed it in was good, and him coming in there. I don't like necessarily the fact that we went a roundabout way just to get him a rematch. Pretty much Seth Rollins getting his one-on-one shot.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm actually excited to see Lesnar and Rollins and see if they can make this different than SummerSlam. Whether they put the title on Rollins or not.
WrestleMania.
Huh?
Different than WrestleMania.
Yeah, different than WrestleMania. But whether they put the title on Rollins or not, I want to see something different. I don't want to see Rollins jump him like he did before. I want to see if Rollins wins. I want to see him actually beat Lesnar.
Yep. Jody Mania, not a Brock fan. I'm glad Brock Lesnar's on the list, says Alice. Yeah, well, we both appreciate and
I'm not a fan, and let me preface this with saying, I'm not a fan of Brock being a part-timer and being the champion, but when you're doing something right, I mean, I have to acknowledge it.
That's true. And he's going to bring in viewers.
Yes.
And people are going to talk about him.
Numbers don't lie, and when Brock Lesnar shows up on Raw, the viewership goes up.
I've never seen such blonde-dyed eyebrows as favorites.
It does look, in this picture, it looks like he ain't got no eyebrows.
It does. Brock checks in at number 3. Let's move on to number 2.
Number 2, KO. I mean, he's been cutting some good promos, and I mean, I could do with the squash match with Ziggler, but all the stuff on SmackDown, even though you say it's centered around Shane, to me, I look at it from a performance standpoint. It was all centered around getting him over at the end of the night. So
yeah.
I have put him on at number 2.
His son is training at the Performance Center, says Amber Goff. I wonder whose son she
Are we talking about Brock, I'm assuming?
I don't know.
Because KO's son is pretty young.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not KO. I don't know if it was Brock or Randy Orton. Randy Orton's too busy giving his kids RKOs in the pool, which was a fantastic video I'll have to find somewhere. All right, folks. On to this week's number 1 top wrestler of the week, according to your benchmark, Silky Baines. Here he is.
Bray Wyatt. You knew it.
Yeah.
You kind of knew it. I think you guys all knew it. That was probably the most impressive debut or re-debut I've seen since Jericho. Like, it's a whole new package to him. It actually made that Firefly
Funhouse. It's a mouthful. I got it. I'm with you.
Made it all worth it just to get this. Now let's hope they don't cock it up and have him lose the first match.
Brock's son apparently at the Performance Center. Yeah, the Fiend, man. I agree with you. Absolutely perfect intro to the new character in the ring. Couldn't have been done any better. Like I said, we crush them when they get it wrong. They got it right with this one. And hopefully the momentum keeps going. All right, folks, there you have it. This week's Benchmark Power Rankings. Let's review it real quickly, Silky.
Real quick. Took Kyle King.
Kill yourself.
Anyway,
here we go.
Talk about my list is bullshit.
Top 5 wrestlers of
Your
the
list
week.
Bullshit. You ain't got a list.
Here we go, Silky. Let's review them. Start with number 5.
Number 5 is Kenta. Number 4 is Randy Orton. Number 3 is Brock Lesnar. Number 2 is Kevin Owens. And number 1, Bray Wyatt.
There you have it, folks. The Benchmark Power Rankings for the week of July 17th, 2019 here on the Speez and the Benchmark Show. 832-937-4559 is the phone number to get in. Kyle King says, this list is bullshit. No love for AJ Styles in the club yet again. AJ wins the U.S. title, but you put a dude who's won 2 matches in the G1. Yeah, because it's Silky's pick to win the G1, of course. I try to tell you this shit, Kyle.
Kill yourself.
And you're too busy talking all this trash in the
Both of you can do
chat
that because
to hear what I'm saying.
Reason why AJ's not on the list is because I don't know. I feel like I was let down by the match with Ricochet. It wasn't a bad match, but again, it could be my fault because when you get Ricochet and AJ Styles, 2 competitors on that level, you tend to put the match way up here. So even if it's great but not what you were expecting, there's a drop, and so you feel let down. So I kind of feel let down. Right now I'm not really feeling the club because the WWE hasn't done anything right with the club. And
even with all those promos with AJ Styles where AJ's like trying to fire him up and get him going and everything, they're still dumping matches.
Yeah, so
they're still losing.
So that's why they're not on it. And again, Tanahashi is the John Cena of fucking New Japan, and Kenta beat him.
Kota Ibushi my pick to win the G1. Not that makes him something spectacular.
Kenta beat him too. So
yeah, Kota Ibushi my pick off to an 0-2 start. I'm
less than thrilled.
Yeah, but we'll come back to the G1 here shortly. Let's talk about Bray Wyatt for a minute. So we both agree that the debut of Bray Wyatt was awesome.
That was
absolutely spectacular. And it looks like the program for Bray Wyatt to reintroduce his character is going to be with Finn Balor, potentially culminating.
Do you think we're overstepping? And like I say, could it be a situation where they just needed a face that's over for him to make this debut, and has nothing necessarily to do with, starting something with Balor?
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm going by what I read online, and apparently Uncle Dave Meltzer, and it might have been Mike Johnson from PW Insider who mentioned how Finn Balor had asked for some time off, and so it made sense for them to put Bray Wyatt into a program with Finn Balor, let them continue their feud through SummerSlam, Bray Wyatt gets a big win over a top face, and then Balor can take his break, and Wyatt can continue on. So don't worry, fucking Naito is 0-2 as well, says Barbarossa.
Gato!
Yeah. Juice Robinson's 2-0, so...
Yeah. Lance Archer's 2-0.
Yeah, where was Lance Archer on the list, man? He's a Texas guy. He's a friend of yours.
Yeah, but it's just, I mean, he beat guys that...
He didn't beat... He beat Will Ospreay.
Yeah, he did beat Will Ospreay.
Which is nice.
Yeah, which is, I mean, not a surprise.
But it's not beating Kota Ibushi and Tanahashi.
Tanahashi, exactly.
So, aside from Finn Balor, let's assume that Bray Wyatt goes through this program with Finn Balor. We get the two of them at SummerSlam. Again, you would guess Bray Wyatt probably goes over there. What do you want to see from Bray Wyatt's character? What do you want to see in terms of how he conducts himself in the ring? You know, what kind of promos is he going to cut? Is it going to continue to just be the Firefly Funhouse thing, and that's really all we hear from him? Because I don't see Bray Wyatt's character as the type that would be doing backstage interviews with Kayla and things like that. You know, it doesn't seem like that would work. Where do you see them taking his character once he starts with the in-ring action?
It's a good question. I honestly think the beauty to this is that right now, you don't need a rhyme or reason for Bray to do whatever he basically can do whatever he wants, and that's your rationale, reasons. And this character can pull that off believably, that, you know, no reason why he just attacked Finn Balor.
Yeah.
And next week he could show up and, you know, who's another over, like...
Attack the New Day or attack...
Yeah, attack the New Day. You know, just show up randomly and take down the people that, you know, I would do it. The way I would do it is almost like the most over baby faces systematically try to go through them one by one and basically do a whole promo spiel about, you know, taking out all the false idols.
That's right. Yeah.
Boom.
No matches.
Yeah.
Just showing up out of the blue and kicking the shit out of people and disappearing again. I think that'd be great. Yeah, I'm with you. And I hope, again, like you say, that they keep some ambiguity about this character.
Yeah,
you know,
because that's what's going to keep people talking about, is that, you know, it's more about the, why do you think he did that? Like, you know, the conversations we could have about, okay, why would he come back and attack Finn Balor? You know, is he trying to make a point to Finn Balor, or is he just trying to, you know, show that he's back and he just, anyone would do, and it just happened, you know, Finn Balor, wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah.
I want to go to Kyle King's comment about the Demon losing at SummerSlam. My thing is, I think it's not a bad idea. I think, though, if he loses at SummerSlam, he needs to lose as Finn Balor.
Totally.
To come back as the, if he's taking this time off, and come back as the Demon. Because if you lose as the Demon, which would be a big deal, big thing, which I wouldn't mind, but then there's no reason for him to come back as a Demon. Is it going to be a different Demon? Like, he already beat the Demon.
Yeah.
You know, so I think having him lose as Finn Balor, take however couple months, whatever he's taking off, and then come back as the Demon playing mind games, fucking with Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
And all of this, you can get a build, like a good 3 to 4 week build, and not even have them in the same fucking room.
Yeah, totally agree.
Because of the mind games that both of these guys can play, Finn Balor as the Demon and Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, and they did that for a while with Bray Wyatt, and then for whatever reason, there was no continuity. It never seemed to stick for any extended period of time, and all of a sudden he would go away, and they tried to bring him back. It just never seemed to work. Hopefully that doesn't happen here. Amber says, I hope Bray is really psycho for a while. Alice wants Sasha Banks to return. Then it could be a triple threat match for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. Sasha versus Ember Moon versus Bayley. That could be very interesting.
No.
Especially if you don't know if Sasha's heel or face.
Yeah.
You put Sasha in a match like that.
But you almost know that she's going to be heel, because her coming back as a face to take her friend's title, you know, that's a pretty much heel thing to do. And it paints your champion as a fucking idiot if she thinks this chick is in this match just to help her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
So at that point, you already know what's happening.
Yeah, could be. I'm glad they didn't screw up Bray's debut, says Bill. Perfectly done, made him look strong. Totally agree. Pulling hair out, willing to put his body in harm's way to win. Disorganized thinking and speech, says Amber Goff, where only he understands. Keep people thinking and trying to figure him out. Yeah, that's exactly right. Just exactly right. I don't want Demon Finn to lose, says the noob, but I want Finn to come back as the Demon. Bob Ruski, I kind of wish they did different Balor paints. Expect the Demon, if it wasn't for copyright, he could do the shit he did on the Indies.
Yeah, the shit he did on the Indies was dope, though.
Well, and that's what Kyle was bringing up a minute ago
he used
about.
To do full-on comic, like head to toe, like Venom or Carnage.
That's awesome.
Shit like that.
That's awesome. And Kyle mentioned, it's great in WWE and all, but he said, I'd love to see what a character like Bray Wyatt would get away with in New Japan.
Oh, yeah.
It would just be completely insane. So let's talk a little New Japan while we got a little time here on the program. We've got first we got a phone caller. Let's get over to of course, it's just like a regular here, but you know what? It's perfectly fine because we encourage everybody to, never mind how bad your takes might be, we encourage you to call into the program. And speaking of bad takes, let's get to our buddy Kyle King on the phone lines. What's going on, Kyle? How are you?
You're doing great. Great show so far, but I wanted to, really quick, I know you want to go to New Japan. I just wanted to try this out on what I was thinking about with Balor. Here's why you bring the Demon back. He already knows Bray's on another level. So you bring the Demon back for this one, and you have him drop. He's already taken the time off. Again, the Demon has instant credibility. We know he's undefeated. We know he won the Universal Championship with him. You don't got to explain it. You have him, bring him there. The Fiend beats Finn. He goes away, takes his time. I want him to have these feuds, these high-profile feuds, but have him chase like the Intercontinental title, but lose. Because he'll bring the Demon. Because I want the Demon to lose on his first return as well. Because I want him to circle back to Bray with you took the Demon's powers away, I'm coming to get him back, that type of storyline.
I got you. I
mean,
yeah, when you put it that way, it makes sense. It makes sense. Just to have him dump and then the Demon took a loss and it doesn't really mean anything anymore. Like, that should really play mind games with Finn Balor, or it should get him so fired up that he wants to get back at Bray Wyatt. Say, look, I'm going to prove to you that you got lucky by getting over on me as the Demon.
Jay Flashman just brought up something.
Right.
Why is no one talking about the Demon joining up with Wyatt? Like, could this be something?
Could that be stupid?
Well, no. I mean, no, if done right, he loses, he drops that first one as the Demon, and because that's like almost his quaff of power, right? He knows pretty much, I'm getting a W if I go in as the Demon. That's why he only brings it out sporadically.
Yeah.
Like when the situation warrants it. So you get him to a point where the situation warrants him being the Demon, and then he wrestles the Fiend and fucking loses. That would psychologically probably break the man, Finn Balor, to where it makes him more pliable, his mind more pliable for the Fiend. And we don't have to do full on like fucking Wyatt family thing over again.
Yeah.
But just a nice little 2-man duel that will fuck shit up. I mean, I would be down for that if done correctly. Not just...
So...
Go ahead.
I think I think that's there. But however, I think if you have Finn join up with somebody other than the club, I think it's going to turn a majority of the fans off.
I mean,
I think if you bring Finn back in his, hey, this is the guy who was going for the Intercontinental Championship. He is, a legit guy, and he's on another one of those runs, but he loses in the end, and have him circle back to Bray that way. Yeah. Like I said, I think that's a better way to present him as the hero, and then try to hype up again Fiend versus Demon 2.
Yeah, for sure. Kyle, thanks for the call, buddy. Again, we appreciate it, man. Always appreciate you chiming in, brother. Have a good night.
Later.
Our buddy Kyle King from the Heel Turn podcast. You can check them out online. And let's give Bray Wyatt an opportunity to establish himself.
Yeah.
And then we can start talking about adding people to his stable because,
I think Noob really wants us to answer this question.
Oh, sorry, because Noob put this up here earlier. What matches do you want to see at SummerSlam? I'm excited for Bayley and Ember Moon, possibly Kabuki Warriors taking on the Iconics.
I fucking hate that name.
Yeah, the Kabuki Warriors, I'm not a fan. Perhaps a Falls Count Anywhere match, Hell in a Cell match, ladder match, because I heard that Peyton Royce is marrying Shawn Spears. And FYI, Shawn Spears now part of AEW. Yeah, for sure.
So
right.
wait. What the fuck?
He just wanted to throw that in there at the end.
Yeah,
Sean
like
Spears.
that last part had nothing to do
That's it's just,
with
letting
any of the
us know.
shit you said before.
Letting us
But
know.
all right.
And Jay, Flashman, and Noob, make sure you guys follow the channel while you're here. We appreciate that. Always. And keep those bits coming, gang. We appreciate all you guys. Mad Dog, Get the Tables, Bill, all of you for chiming in and pitching into the program this evening. So, SummerSlam matchup that you're looking forward to. Anything come to mind?
If this demon, or either way, the Fiend and Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I want to see what Bray Wyatt brings to the table.
Yeah, I want to see if he changes his style, because that's the only way this is going to, in my opinion, this is going to work, is that he's got to change his style from the Bray Wyatt wrestling, how he wrestled as Bray Wyatt.
And don't throw a gimmick in there.
Yeah, no.
Because let us see what Bray Wyatt brings to the table in just a regular wrestling match. No need to throw some kind of crazy gimmick. Not necessary. Thank you very much, Jody Mania. Always good about dropping those bits as well. All right. Let's check out this year's G1 Climax over there in New Japan. Once again, for those of you not familiar with the way New Japan works, this is a yearly tournament. 2 blocks, round robin in each block. The winner, actually the first and second place finisher of each block, move through to the semifinals, and the winner will face the IWGP champion at Wrestle Kingdom, or the Intercontinental champion, or the Never Open Weight. But it's going to be the IWGP heavyweight
Unless
champion.
the IWGP champion wins.
Which is another one of those weird things that New Japan does. They put the IWGP champ in the tournament for a chance to face the IWGP champ. Whatever.
So,
Anyway, looking at Block A, our boy, Texas boy, Silky's bud, Lance Archer, tied for first place with a 2-0 start, as is Kenta and Kazuchika. Okada! Kazuchika! I love how their announcer says his name. It's so awesome. Silky, any surprises out of Block A? For me, the biggest surprise, obviously, would be Kota Ibushi and Hiroshi Tanahashi winless 0-4 between them. But it's early.
and Sabre Jr. too, for that matter. Lost to Okada and lost to Sonata. So
Sonata, your boy, getting a win over Zack Sabre
Yeah.
Jr., which you got to like.
I gotta like that.
I know you're thrilled that Kenta is, I mean, your pick, a lot of people were saying it's too early for Kenta. He's just now in New Japan. He's just come over from WWE. They're not going to put him over this quickly. Holy shit, getting wins over Tanahashi and Ibushi is a pretty good start.
So I think that on really Lance Archer, because not that he's not talented enough, because he is. I've been in the ring with him. But the fact that he's primarily, in New Japan, he was primarily a tag team guy.
Yeah, exactly.
So to fare this well starting off, which, I mean, it could we've seen where, fucking all goes to shit. Like Omega won every match except for like the last 2 or 3, but those last 2 matches he dropped stopped him from winning it again.
And Archer, a few years back, I can't remember the year, maybe it was 2015-ish, was in first place in his block on the very last day of the tournament, and it was actually his tag team partner, Davey Boy Smith Jr., that beat him on the last day and knocked him out of the final. So we've seen this kind of success from him before. It shouldn't come as a total surprise, but he's looked like a badass so far.
Oh, yeah.
Over in the B block,
Moxley,
John Moxley undefeated 2-0 with 4
which
points.
is the point I said was going to meet Kenta in the finals.
So Silky is 4-0 so far with his picks. Ishii and Juice Robinson also undefeated. And as Babaruski pointed out in the chat, Yano and Taichi both pinned Naito. Fuck Gato right now. So again, the surprises on the B side of things. I don't think there's too much of a surprise to see.
Jay White hasn't won a match.
Jay White and Naito both being 0-2 so far. And I think Juice Robinson, I mean, he had such a shit run in the G1 when he was the United States champion. I mean, they basically buried him in that tournament.
Oh, yeah. So
and
maybe
now all
this
of a
the
sudden,
makeup.
He's
he's
the makeup.
Yeah, he's not going to get anywhere near the finals, but, starting off strong so it doesn't look like he'll probably still end with the same fucking 8 to 10 points or 8 points, but he just started off pretty good.
Who's he beaten so far? He beat Goto and Takagi.
Shingo,
yeah. That's not to say it's not impressive because you're getting off to a 2-0 start, but you got Ishii, Moxley, Jay White coming up, so, and Naito. It's going to be a little bit rougher going forward. sticking by your picks, I would assume, seeing
am
as how
sticking
they're
by
both
my pick.
undefeated,
Of
Kenta
course.
and John Moxley. To me, it's too early to call this thing.
Yeah, it's too early.
A lot of stuff can happen.
Who did you pick?
Oh, I picked Kota Ibushi, who's 0-2 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, my pick
So
looks
now,
like shit right
all
now.
of a sudden, it's too early to tell if he was
Well, it is
up
too
there
early to
with
tell.
mine.
He could win
because
the rest of his matches, and it would be fine. Oh shit! Are you really gonna drop a Negro Damas after 2 matches into a what? How many matches are on each side? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 matches.
You fucking right.
Of course I am. Also, Moxley taking young Lion Shota under his wing fucking makes for good comedy backstage.
It really does. And they don't really do too much of the comedy stuff. Most of the comedy, at least that I've watched, is just happens to be what they're saying. It's funny. It's not like a whole shtick they're doing. Like Juice Robinson's had some funny bits when he cuts his promos. But like the whole thing is like when they did the tag match and he got his ass whooped and he kept falling down and he kept handing him up. It's like, hold the title and taking him under. I thought it was hilarious. So
1001 clips. Did you have another name here on Twitch before? Because I thought I heard Tone last night call you somebody else. He's saying Jay White was one of his picks.
Yeah.
He's been disappointed. I think I had Jay White and Kota Ibushi in the final, and they're a combined 0-4 to start. So Gringo Damas is failing miserably.
yeah,
up to
because
this
Gringo
point.
Damas is not a fucking thing.
What's up, Bounty Hunter? How are you? Glad to have you with us as we wind things down here this evening. Hey, I don't watch much New Japan throughout the year. Do they have a tag team tournament similar to the
Yes,
G1?
it's called the World Tag League.
They have a tag team, and they have the junior tag
Yeah,
team
and the best
tournament.
And the best of the Super
And then
Juniors.
they got the best of the Super Juniors and the G1. So lots of tournaments over there in New Japan, which they're so missing out on an opportunity in WWE to do something like this. And it just makes perfect sense. Do a fucking tournament. It fills up Raw and SmackDown Live for a month leading up to a pay-per-view where whoever wins the tournament gets the title shot. And you got a perfect opportunity to build up other feuds while it's going on. It doesn't make any sense at all. Ospreay, who is hurt but wrestling still, is facing Ibushi tomorrow night. Hold on to your fucking necks.
Yeah.
Exactly. That was one of the matches that I actually was looking forward to. As I picked as one of my Rushmore matches from this year's tournament. Isn't the guy who has Daryl about to come back forgot his name? I'm assuming that wasn't supposed to say who has Daryl.
Yeah, I don't know who.
Probably autocorrect or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Who the fuck is Daryl?
we'll probably find out shortly. All right, folks. Well, that's about time for us. I want to thank you so
Daryl
much.
the cat. Oh, Hiromu Tanahashi.
Oh, the injured Tanahashi.
Yeah, or is it Takahashi?
It's Takahashi.
Yeah, Hiromu Takahashi.
It's Takahashi.
What's the cat's name? Daryl? I know.
I don't remember the cat's name.
Yeah. But
hopefully he's back soon, because holy shit. Well, he's cleared to wrestle, says Jay Flashman. Folks, thank you so much for joining us here tonight on the program. Special shout out to Jody Mania, Get the Tables, Mad Dog Drake, and Bill for the bits here tonight. We're always very grateful for that. Again, if you're new to the program, make sure to hit that follow channel before you leave us this evening. Turn those notifications on so you see us every time we are live. And we are back live Monday night, immediately following Monday Night Raw. We are
Aren't
also
you live
here
tomorrow?
Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time. And I should probably be back tomorrow for some Wrestle Trivia.
you should be probably like.
Because it's always great. I still got to mail out the 90 fucking prizes that we gave out last week. I got them all sitting in boxes below. I got to print out the shit
You
tonight.
have one
and get them in the mail.
fucking job, Speez.
All right, I'm going to give over the mailing
I ain't mailing
duties
shit.
to Silky Baines. Exactly.
You be waiting on some shit that ain't coming if Silky Baines is handling it.
Tomorrow night we'll do some Wrestle Trivia. Got to figure out what to give away. I got some cool stuff. Got the new Loot Crate in. Got some stuff from an old Loot Crate that came in as well. Got a few autographs, things like that. So we'll come back tomorrow for some Wrestle Trivia. In the meantime, anything else to get out there before we say goodnight to the folks?
No, that's it.
That's it. So, for the Benchmark Silky Baines,
Yo.
Chris Bezak once again, Wrestle Trivia tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Central Time. And we are back Monday night, immediately following Monday Night Raw, right here on the Speez and the Benchmark Show. Good night, everybody.